stand and the other in my car. Will you be holding this for
I will hold it, it's okay.
On the tripod.
When you see, I have the tripod in my big suitcase. You want to bring it mine or yours?
Oh, we'll take it out for the big event.
We'll take it for the big events. It's okay, she'll manage.
Okay.
She's the photographer.
Fundraising from corporation, I come back to you as an orphan, or the cash. Is a byproduct of traditional fundraising. To reach here, you have to establish that. Traditional fundraising, which is the mosque fundraising, the church fundraising, the community fundraising, the individual fundraising. But you have to be very well equipped before you go there, by establishing your different departments. And most of this corporation love to have tax exemption. Our first one, tax exemption. They want to give you the money
And they get
exempted.
Yes.
You want to get the goods to be cleared, to save the cost of storage, as well as to declare it from their tax. Tax exemption. Local program, because they want to be seen on the television.
Yes.
Okay? Local media coverage. They love it. You have to be equipped to understand what they want. Okay? Increase their visibility to increase their income. Because once they give you, the public will buy from them. Okay? Then the government will recognize them. There's all interweaving inside the community here. So imagine that the corporation, if they want to give you money, you want at least 80% to be for the local programs. They're not interested. Most of them are not interested in what you do outside your country. They are interested in what you are doing here, because they are watering the land, the soil. When they water the soil of their own land, not the soil of Palestine, not the soil of Afghanistan, not the soil of Mozambique or whatever it is, not the soil of South Africa, to produce either grass or bamboo shoot or banana or orange or apple or mahogany or oak trees or what they call it in Sudan, in the Equatoria, what they call it, a tree which is big.
Oak.
No, it's 300-400 years old. Trees. Tabaldi trees. It goes up to 300-400 years. And you can have your office inside the trunk of the tree. You can go there, make an office for you, sit down there. Okay? But on their soil. Some of them might give you money outside, but nobody will see them outside from South Africa. The one who raised funds from the mosques might not be able to communicate with the corporation. So you have to look at different department or different specialty in the same department. And if you have some department talk about corporation, the mentality to understand the philosophy of thinking of the factories, of the companies, of the business, of the trade, and of the local community, to connect. They are not emotional people. they'll ask you and grill you and roast you and skin you on the expenses, on the expenditure for the program itself, on how much salary you have, and how is your children living and the children of the poor people are living. This is the corporation. They go deep down into the details, the minute details of everything. Alright? Is it clear?
Clear.
Is this for me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you put something for me?
No sugar.
No sugar. I'm sweet now. Okay. The second one is the cash cow. Sister, what's your name?
Nobesuch, Doctor.
What?
Nobesuch.
Novasud. What does it mean?
It's it just signifies my clan. So from the Xhosa nation, I come from the Sotho clan.
Asud. Okay. You have to identify which animal can bring the cow to you, can bring the cash to you, sorry. Which animal can bring the cash to you. Now, we draw this one. Cow. A cash cow. The cash is here. Do we only have a cash cow? I have to know. I'm
Do you-
going to have lunch later on, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'll still keep this one. Okay. Just let me to control my.
Come, doctor.
Anyway, welcome to South Africa with no electricity.
Did it just go off now? We told you.
You have to have a cash cow. You have to have a cash camel. You have to have a
Chicken.
cash sheep.
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 This, by the way, this new thing that I'm inventing now. Have cash goat,
Yes, goat.
cash. Sorry,
Springbok.
cash bird. I call it cash bird. Cash bird or chicken. CHICKN.
Yes.
Cash egg
Egg.
and cash. What is the skin of the egg? What do you call it? When you-
Shell?
Shell.
Cash shell.
Eggshell.
Eggshell. All right. Don't stop at the cash cow or cash camel. Because cow in Islam is 7 sheep, isn't it? In Qurbani.
Yeah.
Camel is 11 or 10?
11.
11. Okay, so you only focus on this two, which is very difficult because very expensive. How much is a cow here?
12,000.
Is it?
Yeah.
How much?
For giving for Qurbani.
Yeah.
12,000.
Qurbani price?
Which is how many?
No.
It's like
How many
750 a
euro?
share.
Yeah, so 750 times 11 is? That's what I'm saying. It can't be.
What
It's
was
like
South
about
Africa's 750?
757,000. I'm talking like you're getting right. So it's about 10,000 right?
10,000. How many euro?
Euro divided by 21.
That's about.
That's 500.
500
euro.
500 euro.
Camel? You don't have camel.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Sheep?
Sheep is like about
2,000.
2,000.
2,500 now we just paid.
That's mil. How many euro?
Divided by 21.
That's about 100.
I suppose 50.
120, 130 euro.
No.
100? Yeah?
2,000 by 20. Oh, so you are right.
Right. Yeah.
Goat?
Goats are like
Goats are
180.
cheaper.
Cheaper than
180,
180,
185.
185.
So about like 100 euro.
So how much is how many euro is a cow?
500.
500 euro.
500 euro. And the sheep, 100.
130 euro.
And the goat,
100 euro.
and the chicken,
Oh, that is very cheap.
Like 1 euro.
1 euro.
50.
Like 2 euro. 2 euros.
No, no, 2 euro.
2
2 euro.
euros.
2 euro.
and the shell.
0.
What?
0.
So don't stop at the cash cow.
Oh,
You have to grow your income from the different cash pots.
Yes.
There's a cash camel, which is for this 500. A camel will be 700 to 800 because of the share of the qurbani.
Yeah.
Okay? And you make it easy for the donor, okay? By reducing the fund raising from them from 800 to 500 to 130 to 100 to 220. In every program, you have to create the cash. We have been told by the masters of humanitarian work in the West about one animal, which is the cow. Why you are laughing? I'm serious. You have to cry now. I'm staying. Where does that come from? By the way, I'm Zulu. That's why I'm scared. So the cash philosophy has to be
Yeah.
married to, I'm talking about my religion, to my religion, which tells you if you go earlier to the mosque, you will be considered as you donated a camel. After that, a cow. After that, a sheep. After that, a goat. After that, a chicken. After that, a egg. After that, the shell. Once the Imam stands to give the khutbah on Friday, no cash will be given to you from this because you have not come forward. You're giving a reward from some other pot of Allah. So I'm translating what's at the back of my mind. I'm very proud to be a Christian. I'm very proud to be a Muslim. I'm very proud to be whatever it is, okay? So if you are very proud of being Christian, please go and give me the best of what you have in your religion. To be good for the community. Not to be good for you only. Good for you is not good for me. Good for you should be good for her, for him, for her, for everyone else. Whether they are relatives, neighbors, or people that you don't know. That's why Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, his name was the Messiah. You know why? Because he was sweeping the land to spread the message of God to save the lost children of the Israelites. The lost children of the Israelites. Sweeping. From Masih in Arabic. Masih means Masih. Masih means Messiah. Got it? For the people. Not for his family, not for his mother, but for the people. Which amongst them, or they are the lost children of Israel, of the Israelites. So this is a cash system, and this is a cash philosophy, and this is a corporation that you want to approach. Why should I give you my money? Here, what kind of cash program that you have in the organization? Which is the cash cow, which is the cash camel, which is the cash sheep, which is the cash goat, which is the cash bird, which is the cash egg, which is the cash shell. Each one of you should tell me which is which. Marry marry each cash to each animal.
Orphans is a cash cow.
Well, that's okay. Orphans. Okay. Here's orphans. Carry on. I need all this. If you don't think outside the box that has been created for you to box you in, you are dead meat for me. You don't exist. Even if you say the wrong answer, it's not wrong. You tried.
Widows.
Widows.
will be, yeah.
Widows will be.
When I say cash cow, widows will be cash cow.
What about the camel? You forgot the
Camel.
camel. The camel is more expensive than the cow.
Yeah, so they're
Refugees.
widows. So widows.
No.
So we take the orphan from cow and put in the camel.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay? Because there's more money. But actually you're being followed.
So I would say where we were just saying, wait, you guys can say.
I'm talking about the cost.
I would say water.
Water.
No, we'll come to the program now.
Okay.
But the largest animal is
The
the
camel.
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 So the orphan is the animal.
Yeah.
Okay? Is my writing is good? Then the second for the orphan,
Widow.
what is where? Cash cow,
Cash cow.
cash cow.
But how?
When we do, like, for example, the Women Refugee Project.
The income from orphans is less than the income from widows.
Widows,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Is it?
it is. It is.
Teach your father. Because you want to invest in
No,
him.
but I want to know how.
If
how,
you don't
how you
just
get the product.
How do you
How do you sell it?
if you won't open your mouth,
Jim.
I will de-teeth you. Or this kid. In the bad old days when the Native American used to discount people, huh? Be careful, huh? I'm one of them. And in South Africa, I'm a Zulu. Yes, brother.
No, I'm saying how. The orphans we know, right? When I take it to the people, I know how to sell an orphan, right? How do you sell the widow thing?
You
'Cause
could,
we're not doing
it depends on empowerment
You can take
projects
it,
that
of
you.
Yeah.
So in order to ensure that the orphan has a holistic upbringing and a holistic life, you empower the widow, which is the parent to the orphan.
Yeah.
So you could sell a product in that way. You could create programs
yeah.
that empower the widow to better sustain
Like
the
skills
entire
development.
family.
So,
Yeah.
so there will be widow plus guardians. So it'll be like widow, guardians, all of it under one.
But the word widow
Yeah.
is the
Widows.
cash
It holds more
getting.
weight. It holds more weight.
It gets.
Is it?
What?
Yeah.
It's all what?
Holds more weight.
So if I'm weightless now. Because when you go to another planet, you lose your weight. So the widows will be the cow.
Yeah.
The sheep, which program?
I would
Back to school.
I would say educational
Education.
programs.
Education about water,
Water. But
about
water.
agriculture. I'm just trying to look to
In South African context,
Context.
water.
Water.
water will be the sheep. Okay?
That's why I said water would be the camel, because it costs more in South Africa.
Well, it is, and no, it gives you more.
It gives us more also.
Yeah, no, it gives you more than the orphan.
Yes. Yes. Look.
No, both of you. Argue.
Yeah. Look, I'll tell you, Rabashutu, right? Us, the demand for it. It's just that we are not able to meet that demand at the moment. You know, fast enough. But us here, we could probably come inside. Hey,
But
come
if you
inside.
don't
Don't run
come
away.
inside,
Come in
then
there. Yeah, there. There's the Zulu man. He saw you already. He knew you. Come on, it's good. Say to me. His name is Israel.
He's my father now.
His name is Israel. Come sit down. Sit down.
So what's our time? The project that will bring you the money easier and more money. Now there are argument about whether it could be the
I
orphans.
think orphans, because orphans, there's multiple aspects that you can actually bring more money, even though we just focus on the sponsoring a child aspect, but there's so many avenues within the orphans concept that could bring in more money. For example, rehabilitation of homes, for example, other livelihood programs for the family and the child themselves. So there's more potential to gain more money because you're dealing with the child versus water. As much as water brings in a huge lump sum, but with the orphans, as much as you can have
You
more.
see, I think with
ongoing.
water, how we look in myself in the ones or bowl or something, when water comes in, we bring in one sum of money, a big sum of money at
At
once. That's why
once.
we're thinking it's more. But when we're looking at the orphans, we're going to bring in more orphans, which is going to make
'Cause
more,
it's
more,
ongoing.
More. Yeah, it's ongoing. Yeah.
So we make the first one is coming the orphans. Second would be the water or the widows. Is it water or widows?
Widow.
Water.
Widows.
Widows.
What do you think, Brother Robert? So we're looking at programs that would make.
Oh, no, you're right, because if you look at
Okay, خلاص. The thirdly will be water.
Yeah.
water.
Okay.
I'll go for water.
So this is one. The camel is orphans. The cow is widows. The water
Is the sheep.
is the sheep.
Right.
Okay. What else? After that will be more attractive.
I think educational programs.
Definitely education.
Educational.
Education.
But now, okay, but just before, all this, it depends on who you're targeting the money from. Because in corporate, camel will be education. That's the job.
What we are talking about the traditional name, because
Yeah.
all of us
All right.
is just inherit one name.
Okay.
Okay?
So
But
education.
because we should make a change, we should make a new innovation, okay? We have to create other names.
Yeah.
We should not be following other blindly. Because they said this in London, or they said in New York, or they said anywhere else. No, I can say it in South Africa, Johannesburg. What's the difference between me and the one in London? Or New York or in Paris? Nothing. You said cash, cow, I said cash cow.
So what? Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
Education.
here, education is the goal. Is number 4. Then we have
The bird.
the bird.
It's agriculture.
Food.
Livelihood development.
But I think like building homes,
Shelter.
shelter. I don't if it's called education, but I said people would maybe give more for shelter than
They
education.
don't.
They don't.
You see,
The
this is
cost.
something we
Yeah,
must-
I don't know.
This is in our context, right? It's something we have to discuss,
Yeah.
right?
So like-
because you guys know it. The thing is, we have, and this is why I've been thinking of corporate and that. We only shelter. We have to look outside our country for funds. In
So
Islamic context,
yeah.
we're looking for outside the country from the other Islamic relief officers. It's not coming from.
So talk about emergency program.
Yeah.
Emergency.
Because it's not expensive, but people can give more money.
More money.
Mm.
Okay. This is the chicken. What else in this program?
Shelter will come in.
Shelter, yeah.
We have forgotten something which is very difficult, which is empowerment,
Mm.
or what do you call it? Empowerment, which is
Skills development.
skills development and others.
Yeah.
Is it on this, or
I think it can be a
Under
byproduct,
education.
Doctor, of, for example, with the widows, it could be a byproduct of the cash cow.
okay? So if we go for all this as programs, so we started from the orphans, going to the widows, going to the water, going to education, going to the emergency, okay? Going to what else after the emergency?
Shelter.
I strongly believe creating sustainable livelihoods, like food insecurity is a huge problem in the
Food.
country. So hence I was thinking maybe things like agriculture, because there's a big.
So the whole food go by education because people give more for food, hampers.
Mm.
We do collect so
Definitely
food will
food
actually go by
hampers.
Yeah.
education. Where education
It's
is
not
so-
expensive.
Let me come back to you. If you want to add another project to what has been written in one of these categories, you can add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we are not talking about Bible now.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Quran. We're talking about ijtihad, which is the innovative way of your thinking of making a change. See? Go on. You want to add some of yours to this?
Food.
Water, education, emergency, egg. The egg is something which people ignore because whatever, I don't know. Sorry, I'm not going to lead you.
Like psychosocial support.
Psychosocial support.
People ignore it.
They ignore it.
Psycho P S
Yes.
S. Research. Everybody's ignoring research. Anyway, now we'll go back to this. Do we want to add other project next to these projects? Starts from the camel.
Yes, I think that the agricultural project is
It's up. I'm not asking you anything. You say what project and which category.
I don't know where agriculture would fall there.
You know, when
You have got the orphans,
Sorry?
the widows, the water, the education, the emergency, the psychosocial support.
I think skills development under coach. Because education maybe skills development will fall any name.
Well, God,
Yeah.
with education.
Skills
Okay.
development.
skills
Fall any
development.
name.
Let's be specific.
Yeah.
In the South African context, TVET. That's something.
Whatever it is, what do you want me to write?
Skills development. SD.
Development. Yeah.
S,
SD.
SD,
Development day. Yeah.
empowerment,
Yes, empowerment as well.
so education will lead to empowerment. Okay. Other projects? Next to water, next to emergency, next to PSS,
No, this is what about refugee empowerment?
If I would put it under
Widows.
Widows.
widows,
what is that?
sort of like livelihood development.
Refugee.
But it could be put in more than, what do you want to put here?
We could call it a livelihood development or
And?
sustainable livelihoods.
What's the?
SL.
SL. By the way, I charge people by the hour. By the hour is one thousand.
Yusuf will pay you in Cape Town.
No, I take it
We'll
cash.
forward the bill.
We've got processes.
SL, huh?
SL.
Okay. So with the widows, with the orphans, what do you put with the orphans? Here, I take your brain. If you don't become Zulu, I will Zulu you. What we put with the orphans? Since the orphan is the cash camel. Get my sword.
Family.
I would
Get
say
all the projects.
Winter.
All the projects that you want for orphans.
Everything. Food.
Food.
Education.
Everything.
Warm,
Social
winter,
protection.
all
Hey,
that.
so you know why? Because since the orphan is the camel, and everybody would like to look after him or her, build your structure, your program structure around him or her.
Which is
I want education for the orphan.
Yeah.
I want empowerment for the orphan.
Health.
I want water, health, and everything for the orphan. So here is
Everything.
all program, AP. Okay, that's if you are focusing, as I told you, if you raise 50 million rand from the orphan scheme program, will be able to cover the cost, the running cost of the organization from just the orphan. Okay, so you look at the other ones. By the way, I don't know what I'm looking about, where I'm getting this information from. I'm just talking.
It's experience.
I'm just talking. Keep talking. Madman, nothing else. Madman, huh? Madman has a crazy idea. Crazy idea one day from you could become a new way of life for other people.
So,
Like your geniusness could draw the direction of community, not at your time, but at the time to come. And we refer to genius people hundreds of years after their departure from earth, after their death. So don't misunderstood your action to save a community. Because most of the prophets and messengers of God have been tortured by their own community, supported by the other communities. Who was trying to kill Jesus, alayhi salam? His own community. Who was trying to kill Moses, alayhi salam? His own community. Who was trying to burn Ibrahim, alayhi salam? Throw him into the big hellfire. It's his own community. But where's Ibrahim now? It's with you. Where's Jesus now? It's with you. Where's Moses now? It's with you. The extended community. Okay? Yes. Go on. I don't want people to look at things and don't react. React and drive.
we need to put a lot of more focus because that's where we can get our income. And this is exactly what this was telling us yesterday.
And I think it all maybe goes back to the better collaboration
Yeah.
between the departments.
The interdepartmental. Maybe 30 years ago, we were discussing this interdepartmental connection, not departmentalization or colonization or separation of departments from one another. Okay? So you have each office to have this regular meeting between different departments. So at least the orphan department will know what the fundraising wants, so they can add. The fundraising will know what the orphan.
The idea just came. So you know where? But if you look at our context, our orphans, he said 1,000 is too small. You know why? To attract the offer, the sponsorship from outside, because we collecting mostly zakat. We need to build the zakat offers into our program.
This could be another.
We can double this thing.
The
up.
cash cow and the camel will be the same one.
You understand? We need to double it up because now if we put it into the al-yatim, we can even get overseas to come buy. But also the single mothers in South Africa, they're locked.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to get, and we just need to go approach that. Because that's we got. Because at the moment we are 1.2 million a month. Well, that is far from 50. Very far. That comes up to 1.2 times 12, 2 times 14 million is very far. We only got not even 30. We got not even 30%, 25%.
Yes.
So let us have that. How we can do it. In fact, we should make all our community events centered around that because you see why? It's recurring. The orphan thing is every month. These other things are
But the programs around the
orphans, yes.
if you want to
And then
support all
build
these programs, you can make it as a component.
No, we support, until what age do we support a child?
18.
So according to the orphans policy, we support them up until the age of 18 as Islamic relief, but if they are still school going, because there's certain circumstances, you find that there's like a 19-year-old, but due to academic challenges, they're still in school. We do take those into consideration prior to termination, but the policy age cutoff basically is up until 18.
Okay.
But we've tried, for example, with the bursary program, We've tried that orphans, once they reach 18 and they matriculate, they're absorbed into the bursary program. We've tried with the alternative livelihoods in KZN for the guardians to kind of, so we are working towards the direction of ensuring that our programs incorporate our orphans' right holders. I think there's next week, Cape Town will be launching a new program where it's targeted, it's an agricultural program, it's targeted at orphan beneficiaries. So I think if we can increase in that model of including the families that we support in our existing programs, we'll better see the impact. Because
Okay.
even with our refugee program, a huge percentage of the rights holders were guardians of the orphan sponsorship program. So
All right. Yeah.
Can I challenge you? Why 18? Because some orphans don't want to go to school, don't like education. They would like to do vocational training.
Mm.
that
No, can I finish, please? Because I need to, before skinning you, I need to roast you. Why 18? Okay. The age of laborhood is something, a dream for that boy, for that girl. She doesn't want. She can do things with her hands. Okay? Why should I follow your system of going to primary, secondary,
Yeah.
university? What for?
For what?
I could be a brilliant young boy or young girl who can stand and create something new. I could be an artist, drawing, or saying poetry, and become a superstar at the age of 12. What I'm saying, the age limit should be decided by the capability of the individual himself and the need of the family. If you find a very mature young boy, a young girl, more mature than myself, why should I keep feeding him till the age of 18? Here, the social worker has to do more investigation to understand the philosophy of thinking of the children. The children of need are more mature than the children of our families.
True.
When I visited Gaza 2010, the young children, or the young men and girls at the age of 18, 17 in the room, their thinking were beyond the men and the women at the age of 30.
That's
Because they were actually stuck doing nothing but actually thinking, dreaming, developing. So when you talk to a young man from Gaza, or a young woman from Gaza, you find her and him far ahead of you, where you are having all the facilities and the resources in your country, but you don't have the mind, the brain, who can navigate through the knowledge to stand up for society or community. So the age limit should not be decided by us. If you say that ulama or the scholars said that, I said go back to them. Because when they were putting all this knowledge as the parameters, they were living in a super state. Now there is no super state for those children. The mother is the super state for the child. She's the only custodian with less resources, with no resources. This is number one. The second challenge, who are you to tell me that the orphan sponsorship scheme money is 100 rand or 300, how much is it here?
1,200.
euros is, I think it's 90
Nine.
euros. No, 65 euros.
65. On what foundation?
Did you get? They were
You
food,
put
price of food.
no. Let me ask the question. Forget about there. On what foundation you decided that this orphan should only take 60 or 65 euro a month? Where and when Prophet Zakaria was treating Mary alayhi salam as a daughter. كفلها زكريا. كفلها means Zachariah was sponsoring Mary. Is it right? The sponsorship of an orphan or of a child is equivalent to how much you spend on your own children. You go and educate your donor, that you don't give me a sponsorship money for the child. Because Mary was living in the house of Zachariah, and Zachariah was treating her like his daughter. Okay, not like somebody from outside to give him a food ration, to give her a food ration. So we are using the cash camel as a tool for fundraising, but not the right fundraising. Because the donor should understand that the word sponsorship in Arabic means you treat the orphan as much as you treat your son and your daughter. So it depends on you. If you spend on your child $100 a month, you spend on the orphan $100 a month. If you spend 200, you spend 200. But here the marketeers will tell you, no, we want the money, you want to make him happy. You know why? Because if I see this organization putting £30 a month, or 50 or 40 euro a month, I make it 39 euro. I make it 38 euro to compete. Don't compete for the life of the children or with the life of the children. Because you are creating the future of generations to come. If you invest more, you get more. If you invest less, you get less. In your family, if you invest all your money in assets to leave the income for your children, your children might not be educated, might not be the right people in the future. So soon they inherit the money from you, the sooner they spend it or waste it. But if you invest your money in your children, education, upbringing, morality, humility, they can themselves create the money. Okay? Yes?
Yeah.
So we market the orphan sponsorship wrongly with capital W. This is my opinion. And the opinion of Sheikh, who taught me that, Sheikh Ali Qurra, Dr. Ali Qurra. Wrong. Because kafalat Zachariah لمريم, because the sponsorship of Zachariah, peace be upon him, to Maryam, peace be upon her, was keeping her as a daughter in the house.
So Doctor, so what advice if you...
And the advice is to tell the Muslim charities to sit down together, and instead of them cutting
Each other.
their throats, instead of backstabbing each other, instead of competing for the price and use the children as a commodity, I cannot say that the orphan is like the cup or the glass. It's how we are using them. I produce this glass, $5. This glass, $3. This glass, 3 point. It's not. I'm not an object. I'm a human being. So we have lost our morality when we change the way we treat human beings as much as we treat objects. You are not an object. You are not an object. When they say gender, what do you mean by gender? The explanation of the word gender. What gender means?
Male or female?
No, it doesn't say that. What gender means?
What
Tell
you
me, why didn't-
identify.
why didn't-
Your identity.
Why didn't I say male and female all the way? Why change it, male and female, into a person? Person could be anyone. You are a person, I am a person. Okay? In the good old days, we used to call Miss, Ms., Mrs. Mr. Whatever. Now we became person, now we became gender. What are you going to be now? If you work against nature, yourself will destroy yourself. Become self-destructive. Now we are changing the creation of God. I can look at you and say that you are a man. Nobody can challenge me. Or you are a woman with a beard. That's it. Because we are losing the nature or the natural growth of humanity. When people start to play with the genes of the terminology, with the genes of the ideology, with the genes of the right philosophy, it could be anything. It could be anything. In the good old days, the Greek and Roman used to call woman as an object, used and abused, being abused, isn't it? That's what, if you read history, women now have to have her right of a woman. A woman has a physical need, moral need, intellectual need. Address the most important need of a woman is to become a mother, because this is intrinsically embedded inside you as a woman. Even if she's not getting married, you find that she's the most suitable individual in the community, that she attracts the children and the children will be attracted to her. Nature. We were visiting Mandera in Kenya sometime in 2005. We were about 10 long bearded brothers, no female. The weather was very hot. There was no air conditioner in the car. We opened all the windows. The dust was reddish, so when we came out, we were looking like devils. Black beard with red dust. The women were scared to see us, and the children were screaming and crying. Were those devils coming to help us? And they never. The children were just hiding from us. In 2007, we took 3 young girls with us. One of them is Helen, she was not a Muslim, and one of them was from America, and one of them was from London.